When The Last Starfighter was completed, everyone agreed that the tremendous musical score composed by Craig Safin was a key element in holding everyone's work together.
I mean, I love the story of the kid, and I love him getting his dream and leaving and going to outer space. And it's, you know, as corny as it is, taking the girl to outer space with him. I felt that if I could find a theme that, when played slow, would be the love theme, like, you know, dun, da, 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 dun, dun, or if it's played bum, 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 bum. No matter how you would play it, you could be exciting, in love. You just express the sort of soul of the picture.
Craig Safin's themes really did make the film come alive. He created both the intimate moments of it very well, and then taking it up to the grandeur of space. He combined the two so well.
None of the computer animation was done, so I would see a dot, like a white dot, and then maybe a white square, and Nick would be standing over my shoulder.
He was given ideas of what was happening, and blank cards went in those places for him to score. But actually, I got to talk him through what was happening and what I thought it would look like.
Here's the mothership, and this is the Kodan warrior, and here they meet, and there's a huge explosion. And I mean, none of this was on the screen except these little teeny dots. And so I had to sort of imagine the power of it, and the big ships and all that, to be able to write a huge orchestra and all the power of a 100-piece orchestra, you know, to support this action.
Within a decade of Starfighter's release, computer effects technology had advanced far beyond everyone's expectations. Even the artists at Industrial Light and Magic, responsible for the effects in the Star Wars films and Jurassic Park, were astounded at how rapidly the technology had evolved.
John Whitney and I decided to pursue the full potential of computer graphics, not just to get a big feature project, you know, scale back, let's take it easy. We wanted to really explore what was possible. And we had done an X-Wing fighter ship test for George Lucas in '78.
I wanted to prove that it was possible to use the computer system to create more exciting story points and more dynamics on the screen.
I think the test had been around for a while, and I can't remember who I saw it with. But I remember walking into the screening room when this test was being shown, and I just said, my God, you know, there's no way that I could have programmed this shot. There's no way I could have gotten these maneuvers. There's no way I could have visualized this in advance to be able to see these ships flying along. And one of them, I remember, sort of does a big loop-de-loop and flies up out of camera range, comes back and flies right by the camera. I couldn't have even figured out how to pre-visualize that in order to be able to try it even in motion control. It was really neat. And I remember the number of the folks there that were looking at this were not impressed at all. It was like, oh, well, okay, that's it. And they sort of turned it off. But boy, you could see there was a future, you know, and it just needed time and money, you know, to take care of it. So development, you know, a lot of people in there building hardware and software to be able to get it to a point where it was going to pay off, and it sure has.
I think Last Starfighter is a landmark in that it's the first film that attempted to go completely computer generated with all the visual effects. It was a gutsy move. I applaud the effort. I thought there was a lot of great design work there.
We brought a Cray XMP to its knees producing these environments.
I believe that if it hadn't worked, somebody else would have had the courage to do it, but the fact that we did it obviously started it off. All the special effects had started researching how to do it on computers, and that's how it got to where it is today.
There were earlier films that used computer graphics, but computer graphics was always used to portray computer graphics. As of The Last Starfighter, it was the first film that actually used computer graphics to portray what used to be portrayed with models and miniatures. The Last Starfighter really was the first film to do that.
There was stuff that was done in that show that should have knocked people's socks off, and there should have been a flock of people into digital productions to say, well, let's talk about how you did this stuff. Or at least other companies going, well, they did this, so we got to be able to do this.
No one took the gamble, though. No one really took the gamble. That's what this movie really is about. Who took the gamble? And it was Gary Adelson, Laura Marr, and Digital Productions. They went out on a limb and said, we're going to do it, and we're going to get a Cray computer, and we're going to make a spaceship fly through the sky, and you're going to believe it.
Having done these pictures now, both with animatronics and with computer-generated imagery for 15 or 16 years, I know all the tricks to try to make it seem effortless and seamless. And back then, I wasn't completely sure. And I don't think anybody else was either.
With the other kinds of directors, writers, / producer people, none of this could have happened. And Nick Castle and Jonathan Betchwell, while they bemoaned their fate on a regular basis, they were so supportive. For whatever success that the visual effects achieved in it, it all goes to Nick Castle on one level, because he enabled everybody and he fought the battles on behalf of myself and on digital productions against all odds more frequently than not.
The gift that Nick brought to it was that the effects basically enhanced the story. And it's just a simple story. If it wasn't for them going to outer space, you could take it anywhere. I mean, going to the desert, going to the jungle and having an adventure. So in that sense, it's a timeless story.
I love you, Alex Rogan.
Over the last few years, with regard to the movie, people will come up to me and say, oh, you did that, you wrote that, and what a sweet, sweet movie. And it seems to be a timeless theme of reaching out for the stars and coming to grips with the fact that everything that's really important was right at your doorstep.
The Last Starfighter was a one-of-a-kind experience for all of us who were part of it. Those behind the camera, those in front of the camera, and those in front of a computer screen. In the end, its unique achievement teaches us the same lesson as Alex Rogan's story. Never stop reaching for the stars.
Starfighter, you have been recruited by the Star League.